why that gets me so energized, but I love that. So make sure you talk to somebody after as well. Okay, what 1 Million Cups is about. We're about sharing ideas, offering help, asking for help, building community, and supporting each other. These are really core foundational goals. The 1 Million Cups Kauffman Foundation is going through some, they've added some things, and radical inclusivity is one of them. And so one of the things I challenge the 1 Million Cups community to do in this next couple of days, and until next week and the week after, is look at where you might be excluding others unintentionally. We're not aware when we're excluding others, but we definitely feel when we're excluded. And if we have empathy for ourselves or we're excluded and then we see where we're doing it, we can help reduce that. So inclusive is really finding exclusivity and learning how we don't do it. Differentiators, what we're about. We're pitches, or presentations, not pitches, which I'm not big on. I think you come over here to tell a story, and so far that's been absolutely fantastic. Connecting, not networking, which is everybody's doing. For the community, by the community, radically and intentionally inclusive. The 1 Million Cups Nation. So this goes on all across the country. There's tons of people doing it. Go check out their website. There's tons of information on it. There's tons of free education around how to start up, how to do presentations. So I encourage you to go out and read about them. It's fantastic. 1 Million Cups educates, inspires, and connects entrepreneurs. Leif has actually been a really big inspiration to me this last probably 3 months. Can you stand up, Leif? When he first came into 1 Million Cups, he was really super quiet, and every time I'd go, hey, you need to present, he'd be like, oh, I'm not ready. And I'd be like, no, you're ready, I promise you, you're ready. No, I don't have anything to talk about, I'm taking an intentional break. Okay, great. Then he started coming in, and he's doing more, and it's super exciting, and now he's actually our lead organizer. So, can you give him a huge round of applause? So, Victor, Eric, can you guys stand up? And is anyone else here that is volunteering yet? Kenzie's out. So this is your volunteer organizers. If you have anything you want to say, if you have anything you'd like to see, find one of us to talk to and let us know what you'd like. I don't, what's on, what I see here? Oh, testimony, thank you, Katie. Testimony, I'm like, words, lots of words. These are testimonials. Is there anyone here that's on here yet? Do you know? Oh, Victor, is it, no, that's Phoenix. Okay, so no one's there, sorry. Special thanks to our venue sponsor, The Collective, you heard from Chris. Seattle Strong Coffee is available at Amazon Go and other fine retailers in the Seattle area. You can go on their website and see it. I thought they had a coffee shop, but they don't. I was trying to book a meeting there to go and to like support them, but they don't actually have a cafe. Your volunteers, and what to expect today. It's going to be a little different, so we're not going to worry about that today. But we will talk about, so for the new people in the office. Hi, what's your name?
Lauren.
Hi, Lauren, how are you? I mean, I saw who went and got you, so I knew I could do that.
Oh, okay.
Blame him. So, what usually happens at 1 Million Cups is, you've already done coffee and conversation, a 6-minute presentation or story, 20 minutes Q&A, and then more coffee and conversation. And if I have any more coffee, you're not going to get any conversation in, right? So that's what usually happens. Today is going to be a little different, so don't panic. I don't know where the next one is. So we're going to introduce the presenter today. This is, correct me if I'm wrong, your 3rd time on the 1 Million Cup stage, which I love. I think that is absolutely fantastic. Come once, come twice, come again. Keep practicing, keep playing, because it's only going to make it better, easier, and more exciting for you to go out and tell other people about your story and your business and what you're starting up and doing, right? So keep coming. So that's a huge testimony to that. This second time this person presented, one of our more mature associates in the 1 Million Cups community said right after he was done, Victor, from the first time to this time you're presenting, it was like this. And there was this big, huge smile on Victor's face, and I sat in the back and I thought, that's what this is about, is seeing yourself become your true, authentic self. So Victor, will you come on up and join us? Give him a big round of applause. Victor's going to be presenting at, what's the, Ignite Seattle. So he's going to be testing his presentation on us today. And without any further comments, here's Victor.
This is automated slides, so I'm going to pause that for a second. Thank you again. I mean, this is, like Johan mentioned, I've been coming here for a while now, since April. I think one of my friends, who's also an organizer, came here and just dragged me out to this, so I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. And got a lot of great experience being like just in front of people and stuff. So in what I'm presenting today, I'm applied to speak at Ignite Seattle, which is a kind of like, I don't know, the best way to describe it is a mini TED Talk in a way that happens in Seattle. So there's 12 presenters who go up and do a 5-minute presentation with auto-advancing slides. And so this is going to be my little test, and I purposely didn't practice it as much to get some feedback from you guys. So I guess as we go, maybe keep in mind how, like, what this makes you think of and how you're feeling, and then we'll do some Q&A. So, okay, I am shivering, so I'm just gonna.
Hold the mic closer. Can everyone hear?
All right, we'll do a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Y'all, I am in a quarter-life crisis. And the thing is, even just a couple years ago, I would have never imagined myself getting up on a public stage proclaiming that I am struggling and don't know what I'm doing. So let me just air out my laundry real quick, just kind of. But the thing is, like, much of society tells us that we have to be perfect, and that there's really only one road or one way to reach happiness, to find fulfillment, to do what you want to do. Coming from an Asian American standpoint, we were expected to, get the good grades, get into college, save money for retirement, and take care of your family. And then coming from a man's standpoint, we have to kind of keep everything together with just our bare arms, right? So showing any sign of deeper emotion was something that I was not used to. I hid a lot of my fears for not wanting to come off as feeble. I hid a lot of my sadness for not wanting to come off as sensitive. And suppressing those negative emotions also suppressed a lot of my joy, a lot of my excitement, my childlike wonder, my sense of curiosity. And what that did was prevent me from being able to, I need to fill that part, to take a lot of risks within my life, and it kept me stagnant in my career. I was, swiped left by a lot of women for not being emotionally available, for not taking emotional risks, and I hid a lot of myself. I hid under the blankets and left behind a lot of my creative pursuits and what really lit me up. And then I found out about emotional intelligence, which is this connection between our mind and our hearts. And it's something that I am still trying to figure out in my journey here. And I listened to a lot of podcasts, I read books, I joined, I went to therapy, I hired life coaches, and have just been putting myself out there more on and offline. But one of my favorites was joining a men's group where I got together with a lot of other men who also were conditioned or didn't feel like they had the space to be emotional, to express themselves. And it inspired me to create my own. I started my own blog, I started a podcast, and have been using this as a platform, as kind of free therapy, and talk to people on podcasts and have deeper conversations. I started driving for Lyft and started asking my passengers, deep questions and really use that as an opportunity to build practice and talk to strangers and put myself out there. And so what I found though was that I was not alone, and there are so many others who feel like we can't express these deeper emotions to really dive into what our better version of success is. We've been conditioned to, chase other people's pursuit of happiness and material success and whatnot, and Instagram is bad for that. But the struggle is that we aren't afraid. We're afraid to dive into like the deeper, darker emotions. But the thing is, it's like, in order to get to new heights, we have to crouch down a little bit. You can't reach the top of your shelf by just staying still. And so, so that's where I am working on and really trying to embrace this quarter life crisis as more of a quarter life remodel, and that this is my opportunity to define like what my version of success is, and to really define what set of emotions do I want more in my life, rather than just the other people's idea of success. Thank you. Yeah, what did you guys think? Yeah, go ahead. Katie.
So I just wanted to I never heard this side of your story before, and I really connected with you from the moment you started, and so I just really want to applaud you for really showing up in this presentation. And I think that where my bit of advice that I ask or a question would really be how could you add more specifics to what the hallmarks of your journey, right? You mentioned not taking risks. I want to hear about one-to-ones that you've been afraid to take, right? Or you mentioned that you discovered emotional intelligence. I want to know how you discovered it, right? Did that just come in a random Google search, or was there some a meaningful introduction? Something like that. I think those would be also really great.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think it's hard when it's 15 seconds per
Yeah.
slide.
I know the great thing about going through it. Specific just like that.
Yeah.
I think you might even need to get away with doing less slides. So you're
No,
not.
it is 28 slides though. I have to. Yeah, I can keep the same slide for multiple, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But
Because
that's better.
then it becomes, it's more so me trying to figure out what actually correlates.
Yeah.
As opposed to not listening to what people say.
Well,
So if it's just point, I kind of don't allow myself to get caught up in the journey that you're going. Because what you're essentially asking is to take that and you will unlock something that you would possibly benefit from. And so it's hard for us to take that hand when we're split between you, because you're the selling point. So it's hard for us to differentiate where to go when we're looking at this. Is it food here or is it here? That's all.
yeah.
Are you familiar with Richard Feynman? I've heard of Richard Feynman.
I feel like it's ringing a bell, but not
So he's one of the most influential physicists of the 20th century. And he's well known for not only being one of the greatest minds in Nobel Prize and all that, but he also has this inherent ability to get up and lecture on the most complicated topics and really make it digestible by a great many people. And I thought, as an instructor for many years, I thought he had this innate talent. I thought I had this talent as well. And I learned a lot from reading about someone who helped him write his books called Feynman's Lectures on Physics. And they said that Feynman memorized a script for the entire lecture. And when he went out there, every word, he had small gaps where he could kind of gig it. But the rest of it, every word was a script, and he got it down to, and I told Keenan this the other day, he said he needs to tell everyone a bedtime story. And if you can't tell the story as a bedtime story, you're going to have a lot of ands and ums and hmms. So start with the bedtime story, then write your script on top of it. You've got a really good start here, but I can really see this thing coming and being a smooth boom, boom, boom. Telling you, I love what Katie just said. That's what was missing. I was wondering what was missing. Those little heartfelt, great stuff. I mean, fantastic story. I can't wait to hear how it improved.
Yeah,
So good.
Thank you.
So one thing to think about from your story arc, you might want to pull up earlier that statement you made about other people's versions of success or and tie it more closely to sort of what the midlife or quarter-life crisis is. You talked a little bit about it, but that was a really good way to put it right out there. And then you can revisit it later in your story. And to your point, you need a few sort of guideposts that can refresh the mind about your core stories. Because it's really good. But I think that one little thing for me was like, that's a really good point. I wish you would have made it earlier and reminded me to get in the middle and
I appreciate that. So using that as an anchor throughout the.
and maybe it's not that, that's what resonated with me, but you like look for that.
Yeah.
The bedtime story piece of it's reinforcing throughout the whole journey, not just keep going.
It's been incredible watching you grow and develop over the journey, so kudos first. I didn't realize how much content you generated along your journey. Like, and the thing that jumped out at me is almost like on the Daily Show, they have correspondents who put themselves in awkward situations and kind of create stories or little video vignettes. And when I think about when you went through the images, pull up the slide that you had when you were in the car as an Uber driver.
The 5 options.
Right, so you talked about there's one with the carry, right, that one. So this one kind of jumps out at me of the content, of the potentiality you have of creating this really interesting content to make you an owner of the journey of this is my quarter life crisis journey, and the blog, and that to me almost becomes the kernel to establish your credibility of why you're validated to talk about all this stuff. And I think you're sitting on a library of opportunity because there is so much of you're putting yourself out there. It's not like me. I can talk to anybody, okay? And I'll have a great conversation with anybody and everybody. But that's how I'm wired. You're not wired like that, and you've gone through this incredible growth process in doing it, and there's an awkwardness about it that is attractive and increases your likability.
Appreciate it.
So I would say go with that.
Well, I just want to kind of piggyback on what you just said because I think that there's this expectation out there in society that that the goal is that you become where it's this innate thing, but many people have to learn those skills, right? And I feel like that's a through line or a point in your story that could be bumped up, right? Because that I would imagine might be part of what you're trying to inspire in others. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think maybe it's just really affirming that and actually spelling it out. Sometimes you have to really tell people what you want them to get out of it, right?
Awesome.
Let's be honest though, this man's lifting is Tesla. We just point that out. Who's that guy to the right there?
Yes.
It's so much fun. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. But I agree with what you said, your basis of your company is human based. And I also agree with what this gentleman said as well, coming from a theater background, my cousin and I are actors. And we can't connect with the script or connect with the character until we get off the page. What we're doing in the page, all through our rehearsals, we have scripts in our hand. And there's moments and beats and things missed, in those scenes because we're still looking at the words as opposed to connecting. And so I think that will take you to the next step. Also, were those comments about your writing or about
A mixture of
it's just if you clarify that you also are writing pieces for other companies, we can see the scope of human action. Because even after the presentation, I don't know exact of what we do. Big piece is a personal experience, is a slide coaching, all of those things. But the end result.
Hi, Victor. I really like what you had going on. I can see how stressful that would be to have these short slides that are just so ephemeral. My only thought on that is somehow to make it seem less short, which, again, comments maybe combining slides, 15 seconds, deep content of your slides, like that one right there. I was way more focused on reading that than listening to you, and I don't think you want your audience to ever be in that position. Because I was just like, that's a lot to absorb in 10 seconds. And I started thinking about that. I was like, wait, what did he just say?
I think that's a great comment on like wanting to tell a story of like all the content and whatnot too, because that can be very overwhelming to like put on the slide. But yeah, were you
That was basically
Okay.
like I found myself looking more than listening, and I think for your presentation, given the speed of it, it's kind of the look is just like to accent a little bit about what you're saying and maybe prompt you so that you know what you're about to say.
She was next on right here.
Oh yeah,
It's great.
I was going to point out how I really liked how you spiraled it up from if you can relate to it in a quarter life crisis and to a quarter life restoration. And so really piggybacking on what you as someone said about the everyone's story is different and you recreate your own. And so I just really like how you spiral up to how you frame it, how you look at your own perspective, you can relate to creating your own journey. So it's really beautiful.
thanks. Appreciate that.
That's the way to still give context. We don't need to stress that text.
Sure. Okay. That's a great point. Yeah. So take out the text.
Super minor.
No, that's great. Yep. Well, cool. Is that, yeah, thank you guys. Ignite Seattle, yeah, it's happening February 27th at Town Hall.
Let's see, what do you want me to get out of that?
It's a great question. Honestly, I mean, it's a free, I'm not getting paid for it, so it's great marketing material. And so honestly, this is a way for me to have documented. They're going to record it, they're going to live stream it, it's going to be on YouTube. So I think that'll be something I could like point back to or reference for anything. Maybe more speaking engagements or whatnot. So.
I have one just other thought in my head is this will be really polished probably by the time you do on stage, and I'm going to see you. I would be interested if I was one of your clients or working with you, I'd be able to go back and say, hey, you want to see what I presented on 1 million cups versus what I presented it now, just to see what that journey looks like and what not being perfect looks like, and going up on stage anyway and putting lots of silence in the presentation. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah, I like that idea. So yeah, I'll definitely use the content. Oh, one more. Yeah, sorry.
I think it's really unique that you portray a quarter life crisis, and also that you produce a solution for a quarter life crisis. And that's kind of where my attention really popped in. And I totally get your journey, and I've had a journey, but my journey didn't really look like yours. And you can personalize your journey so that I can relate to your journey. But this part to me was really like, oh, wow, that's unique, that's different. And I think that's where the influence is.
Yeah, appreciate it. So kind of personalizing it, but also keep it unique. Is that weird?
Yeah, personalize it compared to how society is, and you get conditions, and like, that's kind of storyline. Yeah, okay. And it's kind of like impersonal, subjectified. But this is your experience, this is your solution, this is what people relate to, and it's really interesting. And that's kind of personal.
Thank you.
And also just that you had a solution for
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. There's one thing, and I encourage you after we're done today to come by Victor one-on-one and kind of answer a little question that I'm interested in for you is produced versus spontaneous. And in the conversation, I heard a lot of that kind of going back and forth. When something's really produced, it may seem really slick, but it's kind of like a beautiful, still lake with one drop in it, and it's like, oh, look how beautiful it is, and then and that's produced. Where sometimes being just on the edge of produced and a leaf floating across the still pond gets a lot more impact and visualization than a very produced element. So talk to Victor a little bit if you can today after we're done, and say what you thought could be more produced and where he can be still have that organicness. Which I have to tell you, Victor has just how far you've come in your organicness, and I want to recognize that. Every time you get up here, you take another 1,000 miles up and down.
Thank you guys.
Excellent. Yay! So then, I heard we have another slide. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yay! Is there anything else we can do for you? There we go. So if you want to get involved, see Leif. If you'd like to become our new social media manager, specifically Facebook and
Anything else you like to do or want to learn how to do?
yeah, or TikTok.
No.
Maybe I'll do TikTok. Come on, Grandpa. No, I get to say that now. So yay. So perfect. There's two things I want to do really quickly, and I'm going to shake it up a little bit because I don't like being bored, and I have ADHD, so I'm like, let's change it up. So if you haven't been here before, please come up. Yeah. Woo! Let's hear it for our new people. Yay! Come on. So, we haven't done this before. Cover the screen. The screen's not important. You are more important than that screen, each and every one of you. So what we're going to do is I just want, every once in a while we do an espresso round, so this is going to be like a half quad espresso round. I'm just going to hand the mic down to you. You give us your first name, your last name, your nickname, you can tell us about it, just anything about you so that we can applaud you as coming and being a part of our community, your community.
Lauren Dupree, as Dan said, I'm an actor. I also write and produce my own content and run a blog, kind of highlighting health issues that I've been dealing with and how I overcome them emotionally and physically. I'm gonna try this organically. Hi, my name is Nancy Penn. I have been at Congress for about 2 years now. I'm a graphic designer, which was a product actually of my quarter life crisis. So I'm glad that we're going to talk about that subject today. I come from a family of entrepreneurs, but currently I'm a corporate slave, so I just wanted to be around more like-minded people and
Hi, I'm Elena. I'm Elena Lugo. Victor invited me, so thank you. I am a personal coach. And I also have a lifestyle curation website that I'm going to blog. I specifically work with women to create a life that's beautiful and rich and fulfills their heart's desires. That's it.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kara Connor. I am currently opening my own boutique. So I am just looking to develop ways to help me that stable income for me. And I plan to use this platform to help women